President Trump recently said, "He who saves his country does not violate any law." This may sound like some new Trump thing, but it's actually a legal question which the Supreme Court decided long ago in Trump's favor. Everything from absolute immunity for prosecutors in Imler versus Pachman to the idea that only the executive branch can enforce the law in Lujan versus Defenders of Wildlife is based on this idea that what the executive branch wants is more important than the law. This is answering the question, should the executive branch decide everything based on the will of voters? Or should private decision makers decide things based on rules conveyed to them as laws? When Trump says, "I can break the law to do what is right," what he's really saying is the expressed will of the majority in the town square is superior to legislators conveying preferences to individual private decision makers in advance as rules. Laws passed by legislators and majority perceptions supervising the executive branch are both ways of communicating preferences to decision makers. Jurors measuring fact against law versus cops deciding whom to punish, then brushing off courts with lies, reflects the two different methods. Jurors are immunized against politics to lock up whomever the law says to lock up. Cops are immunized against courts to lock up whomever voters want locked up. The formal debate is this: should decisions about everything, from how much bread the baker bakes to who goes to prison, be decided by majority vote in the town square or by distributed decision-making delegated through property rights? Supreme Court justices don't understand any kind of decision-making other than collective. So we reinterpreted the Constitution to say collective decisions in the town square are better. So you might say, wow, Trump wants to be a dictator. But it's actually an economics debate between collective and distributed decisions, which already played out in the courts, and the collective side won. What Trump is saying is just the simple expression of something the Supreme Court already spent decades creating by reinterpreting the Constitution based on our own economic ignorance. To read about landmark cases where the U.S. Supreme Court replaced individualism with collectivism and how, visit copstoprison.org/ScaliaMarxism.pdf.